Hello, welcome to your weekly forecast. We are going to be reading for all of the signs. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, rising, or any dominant signs or houses that you might have in your chart for a more comprehensive reading. Let's get right into it. We are going to start with Aries. Aries sun, moon, rising, and dominant people want to see where you are, where you're headed, what you need to know, and how best to navigate this week for your highest good. Spirit, show me where the Aries people are, where they are headed at this moment, so they can steer toward or steer away as necessary. Show me the climate, the energy, what is available, what is around Aries. And finally, Spirit, your guidance, your advice for Aries, sun, moon, and rising people to help them have the best week possible. Let's go. Hey, okay. Jeez. All right, well, this is the guidance. And it rhymes, right? Where you are, Seven of Swords, potentially leaving behind a situation that is no longer befitting of you, and you might be feeling a little guilty about it, a little bit, maybe some shame, maybe some regret, looking over your shoulder. Is this okay? I feel some people are like, let's say, leaving jobs and things like that, where it's like, here's your little 2 weeks notice, I'm out. Sitting in the guidance position, I want to jump right there. Three of Swords, separation. Separation after painful conversations or thoughts. Spirit's talking about the toothpaste that gets out of the tube. You can't put it back in. Somebody may have used some harsh words. Perhaps, Aries, you went off on somebody. Maybe you used some harsh words. And if that hasn't happened, here's your yellow light to make sure that you are saying what you need to say, that you are being as honest and forthright as possible. Now, I like where you're headed. And I think that honestly, it feels like you have taken some time to make this decision. And it feels like you've assessed things pretty well. You're heading toward the Page of Pentacles. Starting over is actually the phrase that Spirit is using as I look at that. Starting over, and they're really drawing my eye to the yin-yang symbol of the coin that this particular Page of Pentacles happens to be holding. I'm a student of balance. I'm learning how to balance all the elements of my life. I'm trying to get, I'm hearing the phrase, back to basics, right? So don't overcomplicate it. It seems like mentally things might be a little complicated already. So good advice is always, when things are a little bit mentally complex, ground yourself. Get back to the basics. Are you caring for your body? Are you hydrating? Are you sleeping? Are you eating nutritious foods? Sitting in the energy of the climate around you, Seven of Pentacles, taking a step back to assess how things are going. Am I getting a return on my investments? Financial, emotional, intellectual, etc. I need to make a change. You don't put 7 legs on a table. Excuse me. You take one away or you add one, but you don't leave it at 7 legs on the table. So what needs to change in your life? And Aries, looking at the nature of these cards, it does kind of look like more of a process of subtraction than addition. Things that may have gotten a little overcomplicated, or maybe you have taken on some battles, some feelings, some issues that are not actually yours to carry. And that's what I feel, is if it is not yours to carry, and if you feel like, I'm done with this, leave it behind. I want to encourage you to, again, be very honest, because I am getting this feeling that for some Aries people, I mean, if you look closer at the Seven of Swords, there is a snake curled up at the front of this person's feet. Meanwhile, their eyes are over here looking at the past. If you don't keep your eyes on where you're headed, you might get stung, right? So eyes forward and be truthful. If you are trying to get away with something, I feel like you might end up disappointed. That's just what I hear. Maybe somebody's feelings get hurt. Maybe you don't mean anything that bad by trying to slip out of this commitment or this whatever, but somebody close to you, it really harms them. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, check in and make sure if I do need to step away from something, how can I be as straightforward and as clear and clean of a break as possible? And listen, for those that need to leave like a thief in the night because that's just the situation, I wish you the best. Always. Okay. I think that you are heading toward a place where you can be more forthright, and that's your birthright. That's your way of being. So stepping away from having to negotiate things, maybe, and maybe be a little slick and sly about it. Okay. Let's talk to Taurus. Let's see what Spirit wants to highlight for Taurus people spirit this week. This little 7-day cycle. What do Taurus moon, Taurus sun, Taurus rising people need to know for their highest good? Want to know where they are, where they are currently headed, so that you can move towards or move away as you like. Want to know what kind of energy is around and available to them, and your guidance, how they can make this the best week possible, Spirit. Taurus sun, Taurus moon, Taurus rising and dominant people. Anything they need to know for their highest good. Hey, okay. Wow. Excuse me. So, where you are, very powerful. Queen of Wands, leader. Natural leader, charismatic. I mean, she's the hostess with the mostest. It's kind of Taurus vibes in that way. Very elegant, well-seated. They're using that phrase and they're saying that they're being punny with it. So there might be something to do with seed money here. Queen of Wands takes the lead, is courageous. People naturally follow her. She has a way. She has a way about her. You see the black cat at her feet. It points to her magic, right? Her natural magic. And then she has a sunflower in her hand. So it's like, yes, there is this, black cat intuitive magical quality, but there is also this openness, this honesty, this Spirit is using the word simplicity in that great Taurian sense. What you see is what you get. That kind of vibe, right? Which is a part of the reason that people like the Queen of Wands is because they can feel everything is right here on its face, right? Very powerful. You might be in charge of something right now, or you might just be shining in whatever it is that you do and showing up as, I know what I'm doing. Anybody who wishes to follow me can come right along with me. I get kind of also influencer vibes when I look at the Queen of Wands. It's like if we were to pick a card to represent influencer types, charismatic, creative, shiny Queen of Wands, right? So that's you, Taurus. Are you feeling shiny? And if you're not, dial it up because the potential to shine is high. Where you are currently headed. Now, this concerns me only slightly. If you are you have this big, gorgeous, golden energy, right, as the Queen of Wands, but where you're headed, Four of Pentacles, where might you be limiting yourself? Where might you see yourself boxing yourself in? Is there like a certain, a project or a venture, or like I'm thinking about stepping outside of the box when it comes to this job, or I'm looking around for what else I could do. Make sure that you are not limiting yourself. In fact, look at the climate around you. The High Priestess. There is more energy. There's more information yet to come. That's what I really feel. So I feel like I want to say, Taurus, don't lock yourself into anything, especially if it feels too tight, because I feel like there is more information coming down the pipeline and you could make a better decision. The guidance is the Hierophant. Who's in charge? And I mean that literally. So let's just say you're a Queen of Wands who is running some kind of project and you're taking bids for something. It's like Four of Pentacles. Don't lock yourself into something that you can't get out of. Seek a Hierophant's opinion. Seek someone who already knows the system and works within the system. Look for their help, right? The High Priestess sitting next to the Hierophant is pretty powerful because it's like the climate and energy around you, what's available, being in touch with your intuition. And again, this hidden information coming forward. And the guidance is there is somebody who can help you. The Hierophant is a holder of secret and sacred information. So there is like a teacher or a mentor or, again, a member of the system that can help you see past these limitations that you might be kind of prematurely putting on yourself. Or you might just be thinking less of yourself than you are. For Spirit to show me you as a Queen of Wands, Taurus. Whatever it is that you do in life, you have boundless energy and creativity and charisma and possibilities. And so it would be a shame to see you lock yourself in to a little tiny Four of Pentacles sandbox. This is all I can have. Look at the person on this Four of Pentacles. He's got a crown on, he's wearing furs, there's all this beautiful abundant land and even water all around him, but he has decided to make this little teeny tiny little sandbox of a fortress, right? I got to protect myself. I got to defend myself. You might be a little too on the defense to the point that you limit what can happen for you, which Taurus, fixed sign vibes, right? Can be a thing. The Hierophant is the Taurus card in astrology. So there might even literally be another Taurus, or at least someone you can respect on that level of like, I get the feeling that this person really knows what they're doing. They're in your orbit. You're being counseled to go look for them. Okay. Now I will also say, High Priestess, also take the counsel of your own self, your own intuition. When in doubt, pause. When in doubt, turn the volume down. Pay attention to yourself. You know, Taurus, like one of your great powers is the five senses. So feeling how something feels in your body. Do I feel excited or do I feel anxious? You know what I mean? Sometimes the difference can be subtle. Ask your body. When in doubt, ask your body. Okay? Okay. Now, let's mix these back up and we are going to talk to your air sign cousin, Gemini. Gemini Sun. Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising people. Spirit, what's on the agenda this week for Gemini people? What do they need to know for their highest good, their fulfillment, alignment, peace of mind, clarity, spirit? Where is Gemini? Where are they currently headed? What kind of energy is around and available? What do you want to make Gemini aware of for their highest good this week? And Spirit, what is your guidance? What is your advice for Gemini people this week? Let's see what we've got. Woo! Okay, so you like being tied up, Gemini? You have got some burdens. You're feeling a little tied down, weighed down. And I think that you are in a little bit of danger of, maybe you have some Taurus placements, Gemini, of locking yourself in and making yourself feel like there's no way out. Okay, let's talk about it. 10 of Wands, Gemini, are you doing everything? Are you like, I'm in charge of all of the tasks. I'm taking on all of the things. For some people, this could look like being someone who does their own work, like I'm an entrepreneur, or I run my own small business, or I have a job and a side hustle. And so it's like thing. Maybe you just take on multiple projects, Gemini things. And now you find yourself quite saddled. Lots and lots of things to do, and not necessarily all of the time or energy to get them done in like a timely manner for your own self, right? For your own satisfaction. Where you are headed, the devil, fear, anxiety, believing the limits and the pain and the fear, believing the fear more than in yourself. And that is something that I'm hearing. Now, the climate and energy around you, the Chariot, Something is very much available to help you yank the reins in the direction that you want to go. So here's your yellow light. What are you, Spirit is asking me to ask you, what are you telling yourself that, like, if I don't do this, then fill in the blank, I'm going to be broke? You know, like, are you perhaps tying yourself to a place or a person or a situation because you don't believe enough in yourself and your own power? What do I mean by that? I mean, could look like somebody staying with a job or a boss or a relationship that is like, this is dead end, this is toxic, this is not it for me, but I don't believe that I can get anything else. I know this isn't it, but I don't think I can get anything better. And therefore staying stuck, right? And Spirit is saying for some people, you might be a little bit stuck in like a busy work cycle where it's like, maybe you don't need to be doing all of these things, but you feel like you need to be doing all of those things. I think this is something to question. Whenever the devil is at hand, there is some self-reflection, and like, it's time to turn some light onto that shadow and see what it really is. Like, you know, you ever have a bad dream, wake up, sit up in bed, look in the corner of the room, and it's like, there it is, it's a monster. But if you turn the lights on, it's just the laundry from last night that you haven't done yet, right? So things can look scarier and more imposing, but really, if we turn on the light and go take care of what is asking for us, which when we're scared or when we're anxious or when we're whatever, that's asking for our attention. Go give it your attention. Ask yourself if you really need to do all of this stuff, or if there is some stuff that you might be putting on your back because you are afraid of what will happen if you don't put it on your back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't take care of it, nobody else will. Perhaps we need to empower some people to take care of some things. Okay? Do not sign up for involuntary servitude. Look at the devil card and notice how these two people that are standing underneath them with those big heavy chains, those chains are not on them, they are laying at their feet. But the threat of the fear is stronger than the call of the wild. And that's weird, but that's the phrasing that they're using. So, the climate around you, the Chariot, the ability to actually take the reins, like I said, and move consciously, willfully in the direction that you want to, knowing that there is tension, right? We've got the black horse and the white horse. This is how you deal with the devil, right? Everybody loves a white horse. Everybody loves their good side, their good qualities, their skills, their abilities, blah, 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 blah. Nobody likes to talk about their insecurity or their jealousy or places that they lack or the times that they feel fearful or etc., right? But it is those of us who embrace all of ourselves that are able to go places, right? Then it's not my shadow is yanking me by the neck. So one part of me, my white horse wants to go this way, but my dark horse says, hey, if you go out there, they're all going to laugh at you, or you're going to fail, or whatever. We need to go over to that dark horse and groom and feed and pet and attempt to understand, take care of. What are you afraid of? What do you want to tell me? What's going to happen? Okay, you know what? If they all laugh at me, I'm okay with that because this is really important to me, or whatever it is you need to say to the horse. Or if we go broke on this, I know that I'm going to be able to get something out, or whatever you need to say, right? To talk to that horse and get it on your side so that we can all go in the direction that we want to. Your guidance is the Page of Swords. Cut shit off. If you need to cut it off with the devil, if you need to cut off a few of those 10 wands, heavy, heavy, heavy on your back, tell the truth. Tell the truth even if it's inconvenient. Tell the truth even if the room, you know, goes quiet and you can hear the silverware clinking together. Tell the truth, send the message. It's like, tell the truth, shame the devil. Tell the truth, shame the devil, and go chariot, get in your chariot and go on your way. The chariot is courage. The chariot is believing in yourself. Again, not telling yourself, it's all going to work out great. It's, I hope it works out great, and I will be able to deal with whatever happens, any problems, any obstacles that come in front of me. I am prepared to deal with them. I'm ready to face them. Right? Right. Okay. I hope that that is helpful, Gemini. Now, let's talk to your water cousin, Cancer. See what Cancer people need to know this week for their highest good, Spirit. Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Rising and Dominant people. I want to know where they are, where you see them, Spirit, and what you want to share with them for their highest good. Peace, alignment, truth, fulfillment. Where is Cancer now? Where does Cancer appear to be headed so that they can steer toward or steer away as necessary? Want to know what kind of climate and energy is around Cancer this week, and what guidance you would give them to navigate in the best way possible. See what we got here. Very nice. Hey, okay, Cancer. All the major arcana. Literally. Wow. Okay, Cancer. So the difference between major and minor arcana, we would think of the major arcana as like destined events, huge plot points and pivot points. Where you are, the Hierophant, the teacher, the mentor, the leader, the sharer, the holder of sacred or secret information that you are prepared to hand down. You know, the Hierophant we could see as like a benevolent elder, I mean, depending on the context. A benevolent elder and someone who has great wisdom to share. And where you're headed is the world. Holy shit. I mean, let's go even higher. The world is graduation, it's accomplishment, it's enlightenment in the sense of like, it all makes sense. This whole journey up until this point, the hard parts, the easy parts, the ugly parts, all of it now makes sense to me. I understand why this had to happen, right? So one of the ways that Spirit is showing that to me is some people graduating from a relationship. And I mean in the sense that's like, the way that they're really particularly showing it to me is like someone who's already been out of a relationship. It's like I've been single, I'm on my healing journey, and now I can see what attracted me about that person and why I needed to meet that person and get this lesson and whatever, right? And this doesn't have to only be romantic relationships. This could be like a friend that I broke up with, a job that I broke up with. You basically have learned what you needed to from that. And some of you may be in a position to pass that information on, right? Like I could see this a few ways. And just as one example, imagine the person who has been through lots and lots of, let's say, hard times. Let's use the big T word. Let's say trauma. Someone who has been through a lot and actually dived into it, explored it, healed from it. These are the people who have gold mines, oceans of wisdom to offer, right? Oceans of compassion to offer. And that sounds like a Cancer person to me. The climate around you, the moon. I might be telling you you're holding sacred wisdom, you're graduating, but meanwhile the climate around you is confusion, is mystery. Things are shifting, things are in flux. Don't be quick to rush to conclusions right now. And as a Hierophant who is graduating, you might want to. You might want to assume you know exactly what's going on, but things are not as they appear when the moon is handy. Let's go even further. Look at your guidance, the star. Right? It's not the sun. The stars come out at night when the moon is out, and the stars can help guide us. The moon changes her phases, right? Every 2.5 days or so, the moon changes. But if we can find a North Star and follow it, we can get where we are trying to go. So you may not be able to judge by the facts and what is literally right in front of your face, what is really going on. And I don't think that's the best way to make your moves and decisions this week. I think it is to consider what your faith is asking you to do. And I'll say what your values are asking you to do. That is your North Star. If your North Star is courage, or compassion or creativity or etc. It is like, let me follow that star. Let me be the star I wish to see in the world, right? Let me be the Hierophant I wish to see in the world. Let me share what I've known and help enrich other people and graduate from this cycle. When things are not clear, it's because there's more to it than we think there is. And the moon, she changes her phases all on her own, and we have to deal with the shifting light. So again, I want to say, don't rush. You don't run full tilt through the forest at night. You step carefully, you listen closely, look for patterns. That's something else that I'm hearing. Hierophant, graduating. Perhaps this is a very situation that you are in right now, you were about to graduate from, and be able to understand it and make sense of it, right? And be like, oh, now I can totally see why I got lost in that part of the woods. I took a left turn at Albuquerque or whatever, right? So trust yourself to be able to move through things even when you don't know exactly what's happening. Okay? That's how you find out what's happening is the process of not knowing what's happening eventually be, oh, got it. Okay. Had to go through that because I didn't know this deep part of myself, and now I do know it. And that's something that I'm hearing. So you're having an educational experience this week. Wishing you much luck and love as you navigate that. I think you're going to do very well. Graduation card and world card looks pretty good to me. I feel like even moving out of a phase of life and into a new one. Okay. Now, let's talk to Leo. Hello, hello, Leo. Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo rising. Want to know, Spirit, from your high and loving perspective, what Leo people need to know this week. Want to know where you see them. Where you see them headed. Just shot out of the deck. Where you see them headed. I want to know the climate around Leo. What is around? What is available? What do you want them to know about for their highest good? And finally, what is your guidance? Oh, this slipped right out too. Spirit's got a lot to say. Okay. Hey. Okay, Leo. Okay. Whew. Take a deep breath with me here, Leo. Where you are. Ten of Pentacles. People long for the Ten of Pentacles. The safety of home, familial and financial protection, having more than enough even to share. Some of you might be, I mean, it's New Year, right? It's New Year this week, fake New Year. It's fake New Year this week. So many of you may actually be spending time with family and enjoying all of the abundance that comes from being with the people that you love the most. Very beautiful card, nice and steady. Nice, steady place to stand. And I want to immediately draw your attention right over here to the Four of Wands, because Ten of Pentacles, Four of Wands, if I put them in a Venn diagram, family, right? Whether chosen, whether biological, whether marriage, etc. It is the joy and the happiness of feeling like I am home and I'm with people who feel like home. I'm with people who feel like family. So embrace that. Enjoy that. If you need, ask, because it's clearly there for you, okay? Okay, I think you will see it. I think it'll be demonstrated to you. Where you're headed, a Leo loves to be headed toward the Magician. Number one, right? Me. Big Leo energy. Me and what I can do with the four elements. The Magician has everything he needs. Pentacle, cup, sword, wand. I can make infinite combinations with this, right? It just depends on how I want to put my powers together. Leo, you're known for being talented, right? Creative, multi-talented, multi-passionate, multi-creative. Do you know how rich you are, is something Spirit is saying. I feel like you are meant to tap into and share those riches. And some of that is creatively. Like, I have an idea and I want to make it happen. And you have, let's say, even like for some people, Ten of Pentacles doesn't look like, oh, I'm rich. It can look like hey, oh, thank God that, you know, right now I don't have a job, and thank God my parents or whatever are able to allow me a place to live. And so I am in safety and I am in abundance to be able to, let's say, execute on something really cool and creative, right? Now, climate and energy around you. You might be in the doldrums, Leo. You might be having a bit of a hard time looking at the bright side, which is not typical Leo stuff, right? But it happens to all of us. All of us can get into moments where we feel like everybody gets it, or everybody has something that I don't have, right? We can feel like I have messed up, I have lost or squandered something. And Spirit is really, you gotta look. Notice how this person is focused on these 3 empty, overturned cups, to the point that their back is to all these beautiful, juicy, lovely grapes, these 2 still standing cups, ready to be filled with sweet juice of life, right? You may not be feeling like that, and you might need a little support. You might need a little help to feel ready to turn around and look at those grapes. Well, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, family, loved ones, partners. Ask for the support that you need, Leo. Yes, even you who is so strong, sometimes you need a little help. Even you who is so optimistic, even you sometimes need somebody to help pick your chin up and remind you of how rich and how wonderful you are and your life is. And the guidance, 4 of Wands, is literally spend time with the people who remind you who you are, who make you feel so at home, so safe, so warm, right? And celebratory. So you might feel, I mean, I don't want to rush you out of those feelings. Feel your feelings, right? Not telling you, don't feel bad, everything's great. If something is hard, or if you are grieving, then you need to grieve that. And the 5s in the tarot are places where we can get stuck, or we can tell ourselves stories. And the 5 of Cups, sometimes we tell ourselves stories about how it's never going to be like this again. I'm never going to have that. I messed everything up. I've ruined my life, or I've ruined da-da-da-da-da. And you are being reminded that there are still standing beautiful cups and grapes to be enjoyed in your life, okay? So get with the people that remind you, Magician, who you are, what you're capable of. You can remix those cups. You don't need 5 cups. Maybe 5 cups would have ruined the recipe. Okay? Okay. I hope that that helps, Leo. Now, let's talk to Virgo. Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising, and Virgo Dominant People, 6th House Dominant People Spirit. What do you want to share with Virgo? From your high and loving perspective, Spirit, you can see the whole board. Want to know where you see Virgo, where they appear to be headed, what the climate, the energy around Virgo is, and the guidance you want to give them to help them best navigate this week for their highest good. Hey, okay, focus, focus. Oh my gosh, you could have some pretty incredible downloads this week. The only danger is to waste and dribble away a week with distracting yourself, with worrying about things that really, like, you have no business being in. Like, for some people, it's literally like, I'm watching other people beef. I'm not even beefing. I'm literally watching people beef. What am I doing? Like, I'm burning my precious limited fuel, my life force, on shit that I don't actually care about. Wait a minute, right? Okay, where you are, Ace of Wands, there's a spark. There's a spark, right? Think about how precious a spark was to our ancestors. A spark might be the difference between life and death. So if our ancestors were building a fire, right, they wouldn't just be making sparks casually. They would be like, I got my kindling, I got my wood, I got my rocks, I got everything that I need to make this thing into a full-on hearth fire, right? Something that lasts, not just Oh, that was pretty. Now it's gone. Some ideas come and then they're gone forever, right? Or never in the same, like it's like maybe you can go back to that idea later, but it never would have come through the exact way that it would in the moment that it drops in. Aces are like divine, right? Divine inspiration in the case of the Ace of Wands. Stay with it. Spirit is showing me somebody candle gazing. That would be like a good Ace of Wands / High Priestess Venn diagram practice, okay? It's a way of meditating that isn't sitting with your eyes closed and going om. It's letting yourself kind of enter this calm, regulated trance state, right? Where things can just drop in. Ooh, there's the next dialogue in my book. Ooh, there's the new project that I want to start, or product, or blah, 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 whatever. Whatever it is, your realm of like, I want inspiration, it is highly available. You got to regulate yourself and you got to turn down the outside world a little bit. Where you're headed, High Priestess. 1, 2. Nice, right? Nice progression. Who would know how to handle a spark of inspiration really nicely? A High Priestess. She creates a gentle, soft, silent container so that anything that comes through, she notices, she hears, she feels, right? Take quiet time with yourself to reflect, to meditate, to pray, to walk, to take a bath, whatever your version is, right? The thing that you can do, even like Virgo people, right? Even like I'm in a Zen mode of cleaning, like I'm washing the floors or I'm washing the dishes, and my mind, I'm so doing this thing that inspiration is able to just drop in. It just started raining outside of my window and these little drops just started hitting some awning, so that was kind of funny. Drop. But the climate around you, 5 of Wands again, there's the potential for distraction and to lose all of this wonderful precious fire. See the match between these two people? To burn up your precious spark with some bullshit. Some needless fight, some needless conflict, some needless banter, right? Your guidance is focus. King of Swords. Do you have some writing you need to do? Some speaking, some sharing, whatever it is. It's like whatever media, written, spoken, visual, whatever. You have ideas and thoughts that you want to communicate. King of Swords, your thing. Tell the truth. King of Swords knows their place, knows that they are a leader, knows what they are doing, and speaks that shit, right? So if, when in doubt, be honest. When in doubt, look very carefully at how and why you are communicating and make sure that you are speaking in a way that is going to get you the outcome that you want. But I feel like you need to seize your own, appreciate your own authority, okay? Tell the truth, even if you hurt people. Even, 5 of Wands, how would the King of Swords handle a 5 of Wands? He wouldn't. He'd be like, what do I look like? A king playing around in the sandbox with some elementary school students. Yeah, give me back my shovel. Like, I look silly. I don't have any place in this bullshit. This is, I'll say, even like beneath me. I have more important things to talk about, think about, share about. Okay? Very nice energy here if you will seize it. Okay? Okay. I like it, Virgo. Now, let's talk to Libra. Cardinal air signs. Libra sun, Libra moon, Libra rising and dominant people spirit. What do they need to know for their highest good? Want to know where you see Libra. Where you see Libra headed. Climate, the energy around Libra this week, and your guidance to help them navigate in the best way possible. Spirit, always and only advice you want to give to help Libra enjoy their highest good. Hey. Okay. Spirit's really funny. They actually used the phrase coming out of retirement. as I look at these. So maybe some Libra people out there are literally coming out of retirement, but I also hear it's like for some of you, the mouth that you have, the wit that you have is coming out of retirement. You have something to say. And more directly, looking at Ten of Swords in the guidance position, you have something to end. I think that you're going to. And I don't think that it'll take you long. I think that you're going to kind of like cut it off. That's what I kind of hear. It's like, I'm cutting this off. I'm done with this. Let's talk about it. Where you are, Nine of Cups, great card, pleased, satisfied, emotionally speaking, feeling like, you know what, I'm pretty proud of myself, or like, I did a pretty good job, or like, I'm feeling very grateful. I'm feeling like my cups are full, right? You know, we could look at Nine of Cups and think full of yourself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because sometimes when we're full of ourselves, we're better able to give to other people from the overflow, right? As long as you are not coming from some egotistical place, and I don't think that you are. But I do think that you might be resting on your laurels a little bit, Libra. That you might be, like when they said coming out of retirement, it's like some of you might have been on kind of like I'm in first gear. I'm not going hard, I'm coasting, right? Well, it looks like something comes up this week where your Knight of Swords jumps out. You are an air sign. And nobody wants to see a Libra in a debate, because more than likely they'll win, right? And that's what I feel is you have some stuff that you might need to come in and cut off. Knights are in action, right? It's not like this is a Page of Swords where it's like you need to just tell the truth or whatever. It is you need to take some action that says and shows, I will not be dealing with this. This is done. I might have to send a very uncomfortable message, right? I might have to cut someone out, cut someone off, and it hurts. And a Libra, even when it's the right thing to do to cut someone off or to be, you know, harsh in your words, it's not fun. You don't like that. That's not your favorite thing. You'd rather be in a Nine of Cups situation. But you can't lie. You can't lie, and you can't rest on your laurels with this and just let this be and just let this pass. That's what I feel is like this situation where you can't be passive. The climate and energy around you, I feel a couple of things. For some of you, this is the person that you need to talk to. Like, hey, when you said that thing, that really pissed me off. Or, hey, actually, that's the last straw. That's one of the phrases that I'm hearing. I'm over it. So is there a Queen of Wands in your life who perhaps has some of those less nice qualities of a Queen of Wands, like self-centered, right? Egotistical. Because I'm maybe the most charismatic person in the room, I'm the only person in the room. I'm the most, I'm the best, I'm the whatever. Maybe this person doesn't even see like what they are making other people feel, and that might be why it's like kind of a rude awakening situation where you have to be the one to interject, and that's one of the words that I'm hearing. The guidance is put an end to anything that it's like, I have tried everything. I've said it every way that I can think of, and now I know as a Libra, it's like I've tried to be polite, I've tried to be sweet, I've tried to be charming, I've tried to be subtle, I've tried to persuade, okay, I've tried to cajole, okay, I've tried to coerce, okay, I've tried to demand, and none of it worked. Let it go. Let it go. And for others of you, the climate around you with the Queen of Wands is there is somebody, I feel it's somebody who sees you. And maybe this is the same person where it's like, yes, this person sees me. And I still need to make something really clear to them that something is not working for me, that something needs to change or end. Okay? So I feel like, don't be polite. Don't rest on your laurels. Admit defeat, even if that is what it takes to say, like, I'm done with this. So even if this thing is going to keep going or whatever, you go ahead and keep doing it. I need to get the fuck out of here. I'm done. Today's my last day, or whatever. You feel me? That's what I'm hearing, Libra. Okay. Let's now talk to cousin Scorpio. Let's see, Spirit, what is showing up for Scorpio this week? What you see from your high and loving perspective. Spirit, we want to know where you see Scorpio, where you see them as the week opens, where Scorpio is headed, the energy, the climate around them. I've got a kitten under the table nuzzling my foot, and it's very cute. You're very cute, for the record. And your guidance for Scorpio, Spirit, your guidance to help them navigate this week the best way possible. Okay. Hey, very Scorpio vibes. Also very Scorpio vibes. Also very Scorpio vibes. Oh, good. It's not the death card. It would have been like, okay, now I'm just repeating myself innumerable times. Okay. We got to jump right here, Scorpio. Whenever the Tower shows up, we need to talk. The climate around you. Something ending in a shocking way without your permission. Right? So, you know, the Tower can look like accidents. The Tower can look like bad news or just shocking news, right? It doesn't, and this is one thing that I'm hearing is like, oh, your building just got sold. So somebody else, you know, like you're going to have to move. That can be a Tower situation where it's like, wait a minute, we were here. Like, I thought we were good, and then something happens that is outside of your control. So you might have a feeling about what this Tower is. You might be feeling the rumble in your feet, like animals in the forest, where you will see data that animals flee the woods long before the earthquake or the fire or the flood, right? They have a sense because their minds are quiet compared to ours, right? They're not thinking about what they're wearing or what's on TV or blah, 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 blah. They're present. So as the High Priestess, you might be feeling like, I think that there is something funky or something is off or something is about to happen. I feel like trust yourself. Now, importantly, what I mean by that is not trust yourself that the awful thing is going to happen and start freaking out. No, I mean tune in and stay with yourself. High Priestess says make room for quiet time, whether that's literal meditation, whether that's taking long baths and long walks, or just being really mindful and keeping your intuitive space wide open for anything that might want to flow through, right? So you are in a great position compared to what most people go through with a Tower. You're in a good position to maybe be able to have a sense of what's coming and respond accordingly. Where you're headed, the Queen of Cups, a more compassionate, a gentler approach, right? Like the Queen, the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess would have a lot in common, right? Strong Venn diagram crossover, good conversations at a party. But what is a huge difference? The High Priestess has a lot of distance, whereas the Queen of Cups is in her emotions. She's, yes, intuitive, but she also is in deep touch with her feelings and her emotions, which is not something that the High Priestess is necessarily engaged with. She's going deeper than that. Her gaze is wider, right? The Queen of Cups cares very much about the people in their life, their inner circle of friends, family. Patience is actually something that I'm hearing. So it's like maybe some of you are therapists or counselors. And so it's like included in family are like the people that I serve as a counselor, right? I feel that you're breaking the pot. That's what Spirit just said, looking at the Tower and the Eight of Cups as your guidance. You have grown and you've outgrown something, and it might be a little uncomfortable to have outgrown something. It might be scary and even in a way disappointing. And let me just give you an example of one of the ways that they're putting it is some people will have this realization that like they've outgrown a relationship they're in. And it's like, but I love this person. I love this person. We have a family, or we made this house together, or we whatever. But also I recognize that like I have further to go. And if I go deeper than my emotions and even up to the level of my emotions, something is unsustainable if I'm going to grow, right? So, you know, like a plant that grows really tall and it might break the pot that it's in because the pot is a little too small. Your growth might shake some things up, but I will tell you not to slow down just because of that, even if it's a little scary, right? Eight of Pentacles, your guidance is work hard at what you really care about. I mean, as in like, when I make pottery, I feel great. I notice my confidence is growing, my skills are growing, my perspective is growing, etc. Right? So if it's pottery, if it's tarot cards, if it's whatever, building your skills builds yourself and your self-confidence up, and that is something that Spirit is saying like can't be taken away from you, right? The tower falls because it has no roots. If you concentrate on being rooted deep in your intuition, aligned deeply with your emotions, doing what you really care about and what you want to see in the world, then you will survive a tower moment like every Scorpio does. It's a transformation. Oh, you're asking me to shed my skin again. Okay, I can do that. I'm a Scorpio, right? Right. Okay. Now, let's check in on cousin Sagittarius. Let's talk to Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Rising and Dominant People's Spirit. I want to tune into Sagittarian people listening to this reading, where you see them, currently headed, climate and energy around Sag, and your guidance. What you want them to know, do, focus on for their highest good this week. Let's get into it. Hey, okay. Nice. Wow. Beautiful. Okay. Beautiful cards. So, where you are, if we have to see this card somewhere, I'd prefer to see it here, right? Two of Swords, holding back because you're not sure if you have all the information, if you're going to make the right choice. There can be a feeling of like, should I stay or should I go? You know, damned if I do, damned if I don't can also be a feeling of Two of Swords. Like if I do this, this happens. If I do this, that happens. Ah, okay, I'll just stay right here. I'll just stay right here. Maybe things will improve if I just sit right here. No, not in this case, right? So, but where you are headed, 10 of Pentacles. I feel like a burden shared is a burden divided. Are you holding back in perhaps maybe even like trying to be perfect or trying to be like irreproachable, trying to be like keep it clean is something I'm hearing where it's like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not hurting anybody, right? As an example, but it's like, but if the truth is that somebody needs to hear something that might hurt, well then telling the truth isn't a bad thing just because that person got hurt. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like you've been handling something on your own and maybe locking yourself in like an airtight chamber, and it's time to share with family, right? Whether chosen, whether biological, whether a family you have built yourself. 10 of Pentacles says there's actually more than enough for everybody, so there's no reason for you to feel frozen, right? We can, and I like to see this Ace of Cups showing up as the climate around you, thawing, right? And emotions coming into account. Let's notice how in the Two of Swords, this woman has her back to the water, right? Swords are the mind. She's not looking at the water. She's not looking at her feelings. She's not looking at the moon. She's not looking at her intuition. She's trying to judge by facts. She's trying to only go by data, right? Data is just one way of getting intel, okay? it's time to uncross your swords. It's time to look at things and probably bring in some other people to look at those things. So again, if you've been like, I'm trying to shoulder, and this is just something that I'm hearing, this is definitely not for everybody, okay? But what Spirit is showing me is one particular person who's like, I'm dealing with an addiction and I'm trying to handle it myself. I'm trying to like stop myself, or I'm trying to take like lower it myself, or whatever it is, but it's keeping me frozen. Ten of Pentacles, there are people who will help you. There are people who will share with you. There are people who will shelter you. These are things that I'm hearing. So Two of Swords is something else that they're showing me. If you are, let's say, staying in a relationship or in a job where you're stuck, it's like there is help available. So please ask. Like, don't cut yourself off from all of your resources, okay? Again, the climate, the energy around you, Sag, Ace of Cups, there is the potential for an emotional wave, like a rush, right? Forgiveness, honest discussion, like an outpouring of emotion. Maybe you're trying to handle and calculate all of this in your head, and it might just be time to pour your heart out to somebody, or somebody may pour their heart out to you, right? Your guidance is to zoom out. Your guidance is to try to look at this, which, hey, that's your Sagittarian, like that's the whole point. That's part of your journey, right? Is to learn how to zoom out and to really see the big picture, right? And so Spirit's like, when you look at your Two of Swords situation, could you look at it from our perspective? You might be feeling like there's no way out. I'm, stuck this way, or I'm stuck that way. But what we might see is this is exactly your chance to liberate yourself from a limiting situation, job, relationship, way of thinking, whatever. It might feel extremely challenging, but is a challenge that is in your favor, is a challenge that is asking you to get out of your head and into your heart, right? And to share what you find in your heart with Ten of Pentacles, the kind of people who would shelter and share with you. And they are definitely out there. So I say, don't hold back. The world is also, when I zoom all the way out and I look for patterns, right? I look for, where have I felt like this before? When was the last time I felt like, oh, but if I do this, I'm going to hurt this person. If I do that, then this person's going to get hurt, or whatever it is. And what did I do back then? And what did I learn from what I did back then? And what would I do differently now? And you could graduate from a pattern that may have kind of followed you, and like times that you've been in this Two of Swords situation many, many times before. Perfectionism is just procrastination in a cooler outfit, period. So that could be what it is for some of you, is like, zoom out and notice that, like, oh yeah, I'm just holding back out of a fear of other people not liking what I do. Fuck that, let me share. share. Okay? Okay. All right, Sag, I hope that that is helpful. Now, let's talk to Capricorn. Let's see what's going on with my fish goat friends. Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Rising people. Spirit, want to know from your high and loving perspective, where do you see Capricorn? And where do you see Capricorn headed? And we want to know the climate, energy around Capricorn and your guidance. Okay. Hey. Oh my gosh, very nice, Capricorn. Okay. So, where you are, you might be questioning whether you have gotten in over your head. Whether like, oh my God, I think I have no idea what I'm doing. That's okay. That's part of life. Everything is a cycle, and you've got more cards here pointing towards cyclical things. So, the Fool. You're starting from a place where I have no idea what I'm getting myself into or what I've gotten myself into. And I think I'm about to get in over my head. And getting in over our head is the only way to have an adventure, right? It's not an adventure if we know everything that's going to happen. Three of Wands, where you're headed, literally the card for adventure. The card for new paths opening up, horizons opening up, opportunities. Our ships coming in after a long time of searching. The Fool is also the person who is currently setting their baggage on fire. So you might not need to take a whole lot with you in order to go on this new adventure. Maybe in some ways you're telling yourself that you need more, and Spirit's like, actually, you want to kind of pack light. You want to pack light. Life is going to present you with a lot, and you want to be nimble on your feet. And I mean present you with a lot in the best way. I do feel, don't leave your intuition out of it. Don't try to just go by your mind or even by your passion. Climate around you. Queen of Cups. There is someone in your vicinity who helps you get in better touch with your feelings. This person could be a literal like counselor, therapist, psychologist, etc. This person could be a healer in a more like, oh, I'm just a casual amateur healer, right? I'm just a friend who is a really good listener and gives really good advice and is really good at reflecting back what's going on with you. I feel like this is an ally. And this person could be a literal water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, because they're Queen of Cups, because they're so emotionally engaged. And I also feel it's like this person's Spirit's really highlighting the lotus blossom that they're sitting on in this case. It's like they've been through it. So you know why you can trust them, because you know that they didn't get their their confidence, their grip, their understanding of their own emotions or emotionality in general from nowhere. They got it through going through stuff. I feel like you're kind of making a big leap this week. A big leap, and it's like I'm ready to try something new. I'm ready to push the wheel. And your guidance is the Wheel of Fortune. Push forward. It's to take what you've learned from the previous, season, let's say, right? We just started the winter season. So what did you learn over the course of autumn? What did you learn over the course of 2025 that you want to take into the next year? It's kind of like, let me divest of what I don't want to take with me forward, and let me make sure that what I do want to take with me, I really got it. That's a value now. That's something I understand. A new adventure is kicking off. A new season is kicking off. I'm feeling expansion. I'm feeling like I'm also hearing like use your talents in a new way. So are you available for that? It looks pretty amazing. It looks like you could also be seen, is something that I'm just hearing that. You could get seen. So are you ready to show up? Are you ready to, one of my favorite Stoic philosophers, Epictetus, says, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. So if you wish to expand, if you wish to push the wheel forward and enter a new chapter in a new season, don't be afraid to kind of get out of your comfort zone, to not know what you're doing a little bit, because again, not knowing what you're doing is just on the way to figuring it out, right? It's not the end. It's not the destination. Okay. I hope that is helpful, Capricorn. You can trust yourself. You can trust yourself on this new adventure. It's going to be great. All right, now let's talk to Aquarius. Spirit, from your high and loving perspective, I want to know where you see Aquarius. And where Aquarius is headed from here. Want to know the climate, the energy around Aquarian people, Aquarius sun, Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising. And finally, Spirit, want to know your guidance for Aquarius. See what we got. Eights and eights. Wow, that's a lot of major arcana, Aquarius. okay. Sit up and pay attention when there's a lot of major arcana. That's like a lot is happening. Things are shifting. Shifting. Okay. Where you are. 8 of Pentacles. Working hard, doing your thing, growing your skills. 8 of Pentacles is like a joyful day's work. It's like I'm working on the stuff I really care about, the stuff that makes me feel bigger, better, brighter, more confident as I get better and better and better at it. And that's something that I'm hearing. So whether it's a hobby, whether it's a job or a side hustle, I see you working and growing, and you ought to be proud of yourself. I think it's also taking you in a really beautiful direction. It's like what I'm hearing is it's changing your life. You may not even know it yet, but it's shifting some things around in a pretty major way. So where you are headed, it's important for me to note that the star is number 17, which reduces in numerology to number 8. So she's, you know, the grandmommy of all the 8s. So strength, ability, faith, power, these are all 8s, right? So the star. Star also always reminds me of Aquarius because water bearer, right? Are you willing to show up and be your unique self and share your unique abilities, talents, interests, even if nobody's asking for that? And that's something that I'm hearing. So it's like, just because nobody's asking for VC Andrews puppet shows doesn't mean that that's not exactly what you should do if that's what's like you're in your mind and what you feel like you are moving toward. Or this is fucking random, but this is something else I'm hearing is like celibacy. For some people, it's like, I know that I need to do that because it's going to help me understand something or change something or cleanse something away. That's just what I'm hearing. It's not for everybody. If something brings up more questions than answers, it's for somebody else who is listening, but I'm always going to share what I hear. Okay. So what would it look like for you to naturally, shamelessly share your gifts and like be the star you wish to see in the world? Put your work and your effort into that. Things are opening up really nicely. It might be a little confusing. Climate and energy around you, the moon, appropriate. We have the star, which Spirit is telling you, listen, you got to follow your faith. And you've got to be who you want to be in this world, do the work you want to see in the world, give the contribution you want to give in this world, no matter what the world says or does, right? So the moon points to the fact that things are not what they seem, that things are in flux, that dreams, fears, patterns might be bubbling up from below, asking for your attention. Well, what is your guidance when you're not sure what to do? It's to be gentle with yourself and to take it easy. We've got another water bearer here, pouring the same 2 materials, alchemizing, right? Both of these people are alchemizing. They are blending elements to create something new. So, no extremes. That's one thing, right? It's actually go slow, be gentle. Think about, you know, the moon and the star. You wouldn't run full tilt as fast as you can at midnight in some unfamiliar woods, right? You would be walking very carefully. You'd probably be listening very closely. You'd probably be using all of your senses because your eyes aren't necessarily telling you everything that you need to know, right? So be gentle. Also, be tuned in. Open up your channel, open up your antenna, right? When in doubt, ask Spirit for assistance or for guidance or for light or whatever. Ask and you shall receive is something that I'm hearing. It may not be in the moment that you ask it. It may be that you ask your question and a day later you get the answer in a very strange way, in a way that is kind of irrefutable, okay? Ask the question and then be humble enough to be open to the fact that you will be shown the answer if you are willing to walk through your fears, walk right up to your patterns, right? And notice them and go like, oh yeah, I used to feel like this with my dad. Or, oh yeah, like I used to have this exact argument with my mom or whatever. And notice the pattern and then go, okay, what do I want to do now? This pattern is not showing up to punish me. This pattern is showing up so that I can actually see it for what it is this time. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. You could find, like Spirit is using the word growth spurt. You could find that you have like a spiritual and emotional growth spurt this week. Okay. Now let's talk to Pisces. Cousin Pisces, let's talk. Spirit, want to know where you see Pisces this week? Where you see Pisces headed? What direction are they going in? What's showing up next? We want to know the climate and energy around Pisces. What is showing up around them, Spirit? What can they expect to encounter? And what is your guidance to help them navigate in the best way possible this week, Spirit? In the way that suits their highest good. Hey, a lot of Ten of Pentacles this week. I guess it is like, it is the season, right? People are getting gifts. People are with family. That makes sense. Okay. So beautiful card, Pisces. You are safe. You are cared for. You are protected. And you have more than enough. More than enough to be able to share. Ten of Pentacles, Spirit is highlighting, is not always about money. You have riches. You are full of riches that you are able to share. Imagine, like, you know, a Ten of Pentacles, one of the ways like I would love to see it illustrated is just a beautiful tree that is full of fruit, right? I'm just sharing. I'm just a beautiful fucking apple tree, and just apples here, apples for you, apples for you. Like, whoever needs them have. Notice the ways in which you are rich. Pisces, that's what I hear, is like count your blessings in a very literal way. Is like, I'm rich in imagination, I'm rich in intelligence, I'm rich in friends, I'm rich in whatever. Like, ask yourself and really tell yourself, right? You're heading for the sun. Gorgeous. I know what I'm doing. A surge of confidence is something that Spirit is saying. A feeling of like, I know exactly what to do. Follow the yellow brick road. That's something else that I'm hearing, is like, follow the yellow brick road. It opens up right in front of you. The roads are opening in front of you. And the more that you count your blessings and notice the ways in which you are rich, the more opportunities you will receive to enrich yourself. That's what I hear. Okay? Gorgeous card. Health, vitality, a sense of like, I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm exactly where I need to be. Perfect. Really lovely. The climate and energy around you. Ace of Swords. Clarity. Honesty. It rhymes with the sun. Things are exactly what they appear to be. Things are exactly on their face. Do you need to have an honest conversation with somebody and disclose something, or ask for something, or just share something? Somebody might have to have that kind of conversation with you. Hey, I'm going to lay it out on the line. Hey, this is what's going on with me. Hey, let's do this, or let's try that. Let's start this, right? Aces are about fresh starts and new beginnings. And oftentimes the Ace of Swords is cutting through confusion or lies and obfuscations to gain clarity and to be able to actually move forward exactly the way that you need to. So I feel like, be yourself, tell the truth, know how rich you are, right? Even your guidance card, the Fool, rhymes with the sun. That's part of the reason that Spirit was like, follow the yellow brick road. Dorothy didn't know where to go, right? But they all sang to her and let her know, hey, just follow the yellow brick road. And off she went. And what did she find? She discovered all of her talents, her skills, her abilities, and she gained this sense of confidence. And that's what Spirit is saying about you. So, Dorothy, who's your Toto? Here's your little Toto. You're burning the baggage. You don't even need to know everything that's going to come. If you can see the road 50 feet in front of you, like the sun shows you that you can, that's enough. Go on the adventure. You can trust yourself. You have everything that you need, and anything that you might need, speak that. Share that. The truth will set you free, is something else that I'm hearing as I look at these cards. The truth will set you free. Yeah, I even feel like there is some sort of victory at hand for some Pisces people, where it's, I'm hitting a zenith. Have now, like, I can list this accomplishment on my resume or whatever. I achieved this, I wrote this, I made this. Like, I feel that some of you will be really proud. I'm hearing like, what Spirit is showing me is somebody getting like, I don't even know what you call them, but like the special tassels and robes that people who are graduating with like honors. That's what Spirit is showing me. And so I feel like it's literal for some people, but it's metaphorical for a lot of people. It's like you are graduating from something with honors. You are becoming aware of like, wow, I've really cultivated a pretty amazing apple tree, a pretty amazing skill set, right? Pretty amazing bank account for some of you. Congratulations. Share. I kid, Pisces. I kid. Looks fucking fantastic. Believe in yourself. Self-confidence appears to be a huge part of this week. Know yourself, share your truth, and know that you can handle even things and times when you get in over your head. It's a Pisces birthright to dive into the deep, get in over your head, and then remember, oh yeah, I'm a fish. I got this. I got this. Okay. Thank you for being here. I really hope that this is helpful for all of you. Let me know what you think of this new format. It's like I missed reading each of the signs individually, so I'm curious how this is for you. If you'd like to see anything different, let me know. Here to serve. Thanks again for being here. Wishing you a wonderful week, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.